The red dragon has returned. So this is an amazing marker in our ascension timeline. This is it. This is ascension underway. He is one of the mega dragons that will awaken. He's the first of the mega dragons to awaken. There could be 7 at least of the mega dragons, but maybe more. We'll see as time goes on how many there are. So he's the first one. This dragon is red. He's luminous, and he came to me on the day that he resurged into the world, which was the 29th of July. That's the date of that earthquake just off the coast of Russia, and on the same date there was a volcano also in Russia. I saw him on the 29th incredibly briefly, and we're going to talk first of all about how he came into my perception, what he looks like, and how you can interact with him, and what his role is. And do you need to fear him? Because I know there's going to be people that go, oh my God, this is a sign of the end. This is a sign of evil. It is anything but. This is a sign of power rising, of cleansing, and of the world being shaken up, and of disclosure happening. I'm going to describe to you how he flew over the continents and the feedback that he gave me about what he saw. Let's start at the beginning. So I was minding my own beeswax, as I usually am when these visions arrive, and I just caught what I knew was the wing of a dragon. Just this swooshing wing and a little bit of the body, a little snippet of the body. It was so quick. It was literally like this swoosh, but a silent swoosh. The dragon flew past me, and this gorgeous wing is really what I saw. This massive wing, like the wing the size of a mountain range, flapped past me, and it was like a bat's wing. It had a hinge in the middle, and this thing just silently flapped, swished past me, and I saw this very beautiful red dragon. And when I say it's red, it's light. So imagine like a luminescent ruby, as if there's some kind of glowing, shining light on the inside. That's kind of the color of the dragon the first time that I saw him. Second time I saw him, exactly the same, except this time, the second time, which was a day later, I saw him with a little bit more coloring. So I could notice little bits of the scaly, fleshy body that were visible. The majority, like 90% at least of his body, was that glowing light. And there was just little bits like the hinges of the wings. I can't think of a better name to call them. The joints of the wings, the legs. I could notice what looked like scales, not fish scales, but dragon scales. And they were mottled amber and burnt orange and like a charcoal black. And it all went kind of up into this beautiful luminescent red. So captivating. But what was more captivating than what he looked like was what he felt like. So my second interaction with him was very personal, was very private, was very intimate. And I didn't feel intimidated, and I don't feel that he's angry, because a lot of people are going to do that. A lot of people are going to go, oh, red, oh God, fire, oh God, anger. No, nothing of the sort. Power. Whoa. Did he ever activate power inside of me? I felt like I needed to hold on to something, because that is his energy. And when you're in the presence of this dragon, I'm sharing this with you now so that you're forewarned and forearmed. He brings your power up. And for a lot of us, our power is suppressed. For a lot of us, we've been taught that our power is bad. We've been taught that power is bad. We've been taught that power is what is used to hurt other people. We don't know that power heals. We haven't seen many people that have been examples for us of a rising, loving, caring, supportive power. And that's exactly what true power is. True power is soft. As red and present and powerful as this dragon is, his presence is so calm. So metered, so soft. And I knew that he was a monitor. I could feel the surveying as he's flying over the earth. And you know, when I say flying, I think that's also something that I need to clarify. He doesn't need to flap his wings to fly. And he doesn't need to fly through space, as in through time and space, because he is a dragon of seventh dimensional light. That means that he can really appear and essentially bring himself into phase at any point that he chooses to go. So he can intend a point and arrive there. He's taking his sweet time, going continent by continent, which does not take him long at all, to survey and to monitor. Now, his backstory is this, as are all of the mega dragons. He was part of the higher alignment that used to oversee Eden. I'll link a video where I spoke about Eden. That is New Earth. That is what we are returning to. It's what we originated as. And we essentially fell from grace. Eden fell into the false matrix, and now we are returning. He was part of the original Eden complex, the original primordial overseers of Eden, along with many, many other beings, celestial beings, angelic beings. And they were all invited to leave at the inauguration of the false matrix. The earth, the consciousness, the planetary being that we today call Earth, whose true name is Eden, that planetary consciousness agreed to host the false matrix. And in her agreeing to host the false matrix, the guardians of Eden had to shove off. But the mega dragons chose not to. They were invited to leave, they chose not to. They said instead, we want to stay, but we'll stay in stasis, meaning we'll go into a slumber. We'll sleep through this, essentially. You could think of it as hibernation. That's essentially what they did. They went deep down into the earth to merge with the planet itself. Have you noticed how many mountains look like dragons? There's a reason why you're noticing that. And a lot of the time it's because those mountains are hosting a dragon being. There are so many people that when I talk about dragons, they go, oh, it's evil. Oh, they're bad. They're reptilians. No, they're not. Just like the fairies, just like the sprites, just like the little beings, the big beings who are the dragons are part of the elemental kingdom. They're part of nature. And they monitor the realm between the heavens and the earth. And right now, this being who went into stasis for the duration of the false matrix, who is now awakening, who is now flying through our skies, his whole energy when I saw him going over the continents was, what is this? It was outrage. It was disbelief. It was so many things, all within a seventh dimensional mindset, which means there's no triggering and there's no acting out of a triggered state. It's just, we didn't sign up for this. This is not what we said yes to. We said yes to a false matrix. We understood the parameters of what a false matrix was, which essentially meant that there were volunteers. Hello, that's me, that's you. There were volunteers that were going to come in. But we were meant to always have an escape route or an exit point. That exit point was totally taken away from us. It was collapsed. So for all intents and purposes, we've been stuck here for a very long time, much longer than we realize. There have been timeline wars here on our planet, which means that the duration of the false matrix, every time it was coming to an end, got stretched out further and stretched out longer and stretched out more and splintered off into various other timelines. This continued to happen, which prolonged the distortion, the confusion, and the illusion of the false matrix. So he's looking at all of this. And by the way, there's a reason why, this is also interlinked, there's a reason why the pyramids are coming into our awareness now. There's a reason why we're beginning to understand, whoa, in Giza, there is so much underneath those pyramids that makes the pyramids themselves look like teeny little toys on top of a monolithic complex, which is exactly what it is. That's part of the original Eden, and that's part of our exit gateways that we had to leave the false matrix, except that was sealed off from us. So in his surveying, he's noticing a level of manipulation that so far exceeds what we signed up for, that anyone, including them, ever anticipated. And his whole energy is, enough of it. Enough of it. And it's this beautiful, steadfast determination. Now, a lot of you are going to hear this and go, we're saved, that ruby red dragon, he's our savior, he's going to end all the bad guys. No, he's not. because he knows very, very well that that is not his role. He's the monitor, he's overseeing, but everything that he sees, and he sees everything, he sees beneath the surface, he sees what is hidden, and he brings all of that up. He brings all of that into the awareness of humanity. So instead of he sees it all and obliterates it all and saves us all, he sees it all, and that which was hidden, which was an enormous reality under the surface, he's bringing up so that we, humanity, can see it, so that we, humanity, can dismantle what we see. This is so important. On Friday, I spoke to the Plasma Light Tribe, my online community, about our ruby red dragon. I always like to give them the depth of information first, and they got it, boy, and they got that introduction to this being that I'm sharing with you now. And one person said, "Oh, I'm afraid of the chaos." Because that's what he's doing, isn't it? He's looking at all that was buried and he's going to bring it up. And somebody said, "Oh, this sounds too scary. I'm so afraid of the chaos." And I say to her, but the chaos has always been there. It's just been hidden. This isn't anything new. This isn't the insertion of a new frequency into the planet. This is the cleansing of a very putrid toxicity that has ruled the planet, that has resulted in humanity imagining that they're living in a state of calm, but they're not. They're living in a state of suppression. So he is bringing, and he is going to bring everything up. Now, a mega dragon, they tend not to relate to us at the individual level because he's a mega dragon. So he tends to hold focus on the overall structure of our world. So what he's doing is he's looking at where is the seat of corruption right now, and where can I unpick it and disentangle and unfold and bring to light. Look at what's happening in France, and keep looking at what's happening in France, because one of the areas that I noticed our beautiful ruby red phoenix dragon focusing on was right there. And there is going to be ripples of collapse that come, and it's the collapse of the lie. It's the collapse of all that has been used to keep humanity in a state of, I was going to say suppression, but it's so much deeper than suppression. It's enslavement. To keep humanity in a state of enslavement, that ripple starts there in France, and it ripples into Europe, it ripples into the United Kingdom, and there's pockets of this same ripple everywhere. I noticed it in the Far East. I definitely noticed it, to my great delight, over Southern Africa, spreading up into Africa. It's global. It's global. I cannot say to you there's one country that is somehow left untouched. Every single part of the globe is touched. And what happens now, and please do go watch the video that I've left before, because that's where I explain Eden to you. Again, I'll link it in the description box. What he's doing is he is dissolving the structure, the remaining architecture of the false matrix, or at least working with us to do that. And in so doing, opening us back up into Eden so that we can reconnect to Eden again. So imagine we've got Eden, which is the overall planet that we come from. Then we've got Earth, which is the mimic structure of the false matrix. And he is busy supporting us in dissolving all of that so that we can realize that we're part of a much bigger planetary realm called Eden. This is the role of the red dragon. So how do you work with him? A while back, I recorded 2 workshops called Dragon Riders 1 and 2. This is where you learn to connect to your dragon counterpart. Your dragon counterpart is a guide to you. It is a being of magnificence. And now is the time. If you haven't done those before, go into the shop. I've created a massive discount for you. Red Dragon is the coupon code. It will not be valid forever. So use it now and get yourself into that connection, into that very deep personal relationship with your dragon. Grid workers, because he is obviously that, right? He is the ultimate grid worker. And every single light worker, that's you. Don't say, oh, Carrie, I don't know if I'm a light worker. Of course you are. You work with light. You work with love. You work with consciousness. A priority for you is peace. A priority for you is the betterment of humanity, not the betterment of you, the betterment of all. That is what makes you a light worker. If you're a light worker, you're a grid worker. Why? Because a light worker works with their grids. You are in the process of infusing more light into your personal matrix, which is to say your physical body, your grid system. Just like there are grids and ley lines that the planet is comprised of, your body is exactly the same. An acupuncturist knows these node points on your body, which are powerful points that allow for energy to circulate from one part of the body to another. A grid worker infuses their body with light. You don't have to do acupuncture. That's just an example of the meridians and the ley lines of our body and how it's set up. And the earth is exactly the same. Our beautiful ruby red dragon is going from point to point, node point to node point on the planet, infusing light. And the moment he does that, it unsettles the illusion. It brings the lie up to the surface. So watch for your own personal lies that you've told yourself. I'm not even talking about lies that you've told the world, although those will absolutely be part of this. Where are you holding a lie inside yourself? Is it, I don't want to be here, life is hard, I have no power, I've got no choice? The lies that you've told yourself, I've got no value, I've got no worth, I wonder, oh, my bank account is so minimal. Oh, well, that's a mystery I'll never solve. These are all the lies that you've told yourself. Your unworthiness is a lie. Your smallness is a lie. It's not a vengeful lie. It's an illusion that is being asked to be revealed so that the truth can be seen. And as you do this, as you undertake to do this at the personal level, you will see how you support the red dragon in his journey around the world right now. He's a solo rider. He can do this all on his own, and yet he has a legion, an absolute legion of dragons trailing around him and behind him, much smaller dragons. It's very beautiful. If you had the opportunity to zoom out and oversee him, you're going to see this massive mega dragon. And then you're going to see what, by comparison, the normal dragon looks like a little dove, the size of a little dove flying next to him. He is just taking his time, going through the world, monitoring, overseeing, and supporting the ley lines to come back online again. You support the process. So he doesn't need us to do this, but because we want to be a part of the evolution of consciousness, there is something in you already. Can you feel it? That's going, yes, I was born for this. Yes, show me the way. Join the Plasma Light Tribe if you want to do the energy work that supports you in being the grid worker that you came here to be, which supports your ripple, supporting the ripple of the planetary transformation that we're going to see taking place right now. Will everything be cleared overnight? Gosh, no. Will everything be brought up overnight? Heavens, no. But will the remedy be present on the planet now? Yes. And it will unfold. I can't tell you how quickly it's all going to unfold. My senses vary. My senses remarkably quickly. We're going to see one thing after the other. But timing is something that is so determined by the collective consciousness. Timing is how ready are we as a society to see ourselves? Because there's a lot of people that if they had to see themselves overnight, and I'm talking about truly see yourself, which is to see your shadow, that which you've hidden, that which you've suppressed, that which you've denied, that which you've disowned, and that which you actually truly are, which is a cosmic divinity so far beyond comprehension. That's a lot for a human mind. It's going to shatter a lot of minds and shatter a lot of lives. So we have to do this in a way that doesn't totally destabilize ascension. It cannot be boom and it's done. It has to be not gradual, but at least slow enough that humanity can keep up. And we, the light workers, are what buoys and bolsters the collective consciousness. I want to tell you what I found when I started working with and connecting with this red dragon, I found myself getting so direct, so stern, so clear. Members in my online community will have heard me on Friday's call. Just somebody asked me a question towards the end, and they didn't know that question was so incredibly imperative to the human collective. And I tried to ignore it. I really did. And there's just a surge came up in me that said, Kerry, you cannot ignore this. You have to answer it, and you're going to have to answer it so bluntly and so directly. It's going to unsettle a lot of people, and I knew it, and I just couldn't hold it back. I couldn't try to meter myself and be tactful. It just came out. I have to tell you, the woman who asked the question in the end just blew us all away, how spectacularly that person received the answer. Where a lot of people would have been triggered, this person was actually triggered, but triggered into a higher alignment, triggered into love, triggered into truth. It was actually so powerful and so magnificent to see. So that's my personal spillover of having worked with this dragon for the last couple of days, and I'd love to hear yours. I'd love to know what's going on for you. Do you feel that upwelling inside of you? You cannot shut this down. It's kind of like going to a volcano and trying to put a cork in it. The cork is just going to dissolve into the lava. There is no possibility for you to try to control your way through the next part of the ascension journey navigation. This is not something you can control. This is something you can surrender into and allow. And what you're surrendering into is your own truth, is your own love. Remember that there are people that want you in fear. Remember that there are people who have swallowed the fear pill, and they want everybody else to participate in these levels of density. And they're going to say to you, oh, red dragon equals bad. Look, it's written here in biblical text, or it's written here, or somebody said, or the Illuminati, or I don't know, God, whatever old prophecy. We have been taught so many untruths, knowing that these spectacular mega dragons were going to come online right now at this point, coming into the ascension window. Well, so much of the prophecy of past needed us to be scared of them, needed us to reject them. You'll feel it for yourself as you connect with this dragon. There is only peace. There is absolute calm. There's no place for thoughts. You know how thoughts can be such a scattering energy? There is such a precise laser beam focused conscious energy, and everything that he sees, that he's flying over, there's such a divine love. There is such a divine, powerful presence. And you're invited. You're invited not to watch it, but to participate in it. So I'll see you there in the Trail of the Red Dragon. Go ahead and watch this video next. This is the one about Eden from my heart. All the way to yours. This is the time to let love come home.